Right, first of all, it's nice to have you spend some time. If you'd like to introduce yourself and who you are and everything, that'd be great.
Yeah, my name is Alex Svenson, and I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and I am a musician and a songwriter. And in this case, we're talking about Neonpocalypse. That's my kind of a solo project. I usually play in another band called Then Comes Silence. I'm the singer and the bass player in that band, but this is, I think this is quite different from my regular band. It's electronic, and it's only me.
It is a very different sound between the two.
Yeah, people say so.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a very distinct voice, I'll say that, and it's a really good voice. It goes absolutely brilliant with both of your bands. It goes so well. I mean, Then Comes Silence, obviously brilliant in themselves, and then this Neonpocalypse is I love it. I mean, what was the main track? You know, my mind just went blank all of a sudden. Broken Circles. I love that song. It's so good. It's retro kind of 80s, but modern, isn't it? It's brilliant. It really is, and I love that kind of mini album. Would you say, ish?
Yeah, it is an EP kind of. Yeah, I only have 4 songs, so it's. That's the start, and hopefully I will start writing new.
Oh, I've lost you, Alex.
I will making music quite soon, I think, because first I just need to warm up the synthesizers again, and I've been waiting for this moment to start writing more music for the Neonpocalypse. But as a fact, I'm quite busy with the next album with Then Comes Silence at the moment, because we're releasing in almost 1 month, a little bit more. I think it's July 1st, so it's there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
But as soon as it's launched, I will start making new music and focus a little bit on Neonpocalypse instead.
That's fantastic. I mean, it must be quite hard work working on 2 bands at once.
It's, sometimes, yes, but I think in this case, Neonpocalypse is quite different from Then Comes Silence, and that's the point, because I think sometimes when artists are taking a step aside, doing their own thing, and it sounds pretty much the same as the band, I think that's quite meaningless.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Why? It's better to just try something else, and this is what I want to do with Neonpocalypse. And I started with synthesizers when I was 14, so that's that's my foundation, actually. So all those things that happen afterwards, that's just that's something just adding to my my inspiration. And because I started as a keyboard player and just playing around, fooling around with synthesizers. So that's actually where my home ground is. Okay. That's my base. So I feel that it was the right time to pick it up again, and just dive into the synthesizers and the electronic stuff.
But it's good. I mean, it is very different from the other band, which is something like you said. It makes it more worthwhile rather than why have you done another band that sounds exactly the same? This is so different. And both great bands in their own right. They might have the same singer, but they do sound very different, and that's absolutely fantastic. And you have the other song there, The Light. Oh, another brilliant one. And the remix is also really good.
Yeah, no, that was a happy surprise. I was very glad when I got both remixes from Curse and from Ashcode. I was really impressed. I love them.
What is that like for you as an artist, that you give your creation to someone else to do something with? Is that difficult at times? Scary?
No, I don't think it's difficult. The only things that can happen is that I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I think it's not good.
Yeah.
But that's quite seldom. It doesn't happen that often.
No.
So thank God. It's quite embarrassing, because
It's quite difficult to tell them, I don't like that.
no, you don't want to say that to someone who's probably some musicians are quite fresh, so it's a cool thing to do, it's remixing other bands' songs. Yeah. It's like a way. It's a way of learning.
Yeah.
So I think you should be I think you should be quite flexible, and it's more like a game. It's more like you're playing with other people's ideas and music. So it's a game.
And it's kind of a mutual respect then, isn't it, as well? I mean, you obviously respect them to let them do it, and they respect you enough to make it what they believe is good, better, or improved, or changed, or enough to make it their mark on it, but it's still your work. And I think they both did really well with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from your original version, which is great in itself anyway. So that worked well.
Yeah.
So what was your musical influences as you were coming along in music? I mean, I can hear clearly, like it was mentioned, I think, in your EPK about John Fox. I can hear that.
Yeah. Well, it's quite funny because I met some people right after I released this EP back in January, February, and everyone was saying that, it sounds so much like the 80s, or things like Fat Gadget and stuff, and well, the thing is that's kind of when I stopped listening to synth or industrial music because I was at that age, 14, 15, 16 in the 80s. So to me it's like, well, I don't know anything else beyond that. So
yeah,
because I didn't keep on the same tracks as everyone else. Everyone else continued with 9 Inch Nails, lots of other stuff. Of course, I've heard it, but I didn't really listen to it because I went straight into punk and to the hardcore scene, and then I tried the Latin scene, the Latin music, and I've done lots of different stuff. The indie scene as well. So I kind of stopped listening to the industrial synth pop music, like I think in 1991 or something like that. So that's I don't know anything else.
No, exactly.
So I have to catch up and listen to more music, because I didn't really like when people say that it sounds so retro, because I want it to sound modern.
But it kind of mixes both, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay.
You can hear, I can hear the influence, but it's got a modern, I don't know, modern twist, modern style. It's hard to put that into words, that although you you can tell where the influence was from, it's far enough modern to differentiate between the two. And I think it's, I mean, when I first heard your record, I just thought, wow, this is really good. And then I tried finding more songs and there wasn't any, and I thought, how come this is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's...
I think that era, from 79 to 89 or something ish,
Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting era within the synth music, because it's quite organic. Of course, most bands use drum machines and stuff like that, but it always sounded very organic. For instance, Kraftwerk to me is very organic. Yeah. And something happened in the 90s, and especially 2000 and today. Most of the contemporary techno or electronic music is made on software, and that's, to me, it's quite flat. Of course, there are good stuff, but it's a little bit too flat to me, because I want to use the synthesizer as a guitar. I want it to be. I like the smell of a warm synthesizer, and if I can, I use an amplifier. I use compressors. It's because it adds very much to the whole thing. And I don't mind if there's white noise or a humming or something in the background. I think that's just even better. So when you listen to, for instance, Fat Gadget or stuff like that, it's very organic. So that's, I would say, I want it to be more like that, and I kind of miss that today. I think a lot of electronic musicians, they're quite how to say, comfortable with software, and it's easy to bring it with you, a laptop, MacBook. And I think, of course, I have that too, but there's something more interesting with a warm synthesizer, and if you can just plug it into an amplifier.
I can understand that. It's like when you listen to old punk records and you hear the noise, there's feedback occasionally, and there's just all the crackling sounds in the background of all interference and whatever. That's real music. I know it's still real music, but it's in its raw form. And that's just so good, the raw form of music. Not taking it away from many bands, obviously, that don't use that kind of style. They just use all the software. I mean, it still takes creativity, etc. But I agree with you. I think that natural, flowing, whatever is there kind of thing. I like that. I like that. That's good.
And some bands, artists, they're quite good making it sound very organic, even though it's a lot of software. Especially the French scene in the early 2000s. I think they were really good at making it sound very organic. Bands like Justice, Daft Punk, the whole techno scene from Paris and all that. So I think they were really good at. But I think they also used a lot of compressors and distortion and tweaked it a bit just to make it sound more organic. I think that's their point. Yeah,
they can kind of conceal that clinical sound rather well,
and they use a lot of samplings as well.
Definitely. So what with your lyrics, what drives you with your lyrics? What influences around you for that?
Everything. I try to keep up what's happening. I listen to what people are I try to listen to people,
Yeah.
and I I read a lot of magazines, a lot of newspapers, and I like I like the feed, and of getting instant flashes on my phone, even though it sometimes can be stressful. Of course, times like these, war fever,
Yeah.
and there is mostly bad news.
At the
not,
moment,
not so
definitely.
often you get good news, but I think it's important to read a lot and listen a lot to what's happening at the moment, and not only political stuff. It's also very important to try to listen to what people are, how people feel, how people people get. There's a lot of distress. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of uncertainty. People are quite anxious, I think, or afraid, and I think that's very important to try to just catch it up a little bit, and so I write about things I heard people say, and what I feel at the moment. So I always bring my. It sounds quite pretentious, but I bring my book of lyrics in my phone. So every time I hear something, I just write it down. Write it down. Right, just to collect. And then when it's time to write a song, I just pick lines from that book. So it's just a couple of files in my phone, but that's the way I work. I try to just collect what I hear all around me.
Everyone has different methods, and you have to use the method that works for you. You really
I don't
do.
think it's so poetic. I think it's more like a collection of quotes and just lines, phrases that work together.
Yeah, I was going to say, when they're put together, they make sense, and they go together well. You certainly put them together well, which is well done on that one. What about the name Neonpocalypse?
I know it's a bad name, but it's I've always
I
been
didn't think it was.
fascinated about the apocalypse since I was a kid. I was totally obsessed, and I think I'm still am a little bit softer now, not so hardcore, but I wanted to use a part of that word in the name, and I think that it's better to enjoy the moment. So even if the world is going down, but we can at least enjoy the wonderful, beautiful sky.
Yeah.
It's more pink than 10 years ago, but it's beautiful. I try to look at that way. It makes it easier, and I think sometimes it's easier to just how to say, ride with it.
Go with it.
I think, like, in the 60s, some I remember I read somewhere that someone said you have to learn to love the bomb, and that's the kind of thing I'm trying to do. Learn to love the climate change, learn to love all the bad things that that's happening around us, because I think eventually that will lead to something else. It doesn't have to be an apocalypse. Maybe in 50 years this world is a lovely place. We don't know.
We don't know, do we? No. We don't know. Nature has a way of, or the earth itself has a way of working itself out.
Yes,
always has done over the millions of years it's been here. It's always decided what to do, and I don't think anything we do is going to really alter it. Not long term, anyway.
Yeah, and cynically, this situation with that we have with the Russians and the Ukraine and all that, maybe that's going to lead to maybe we could just fast forward a little bit, with green energy, more wind parks.
I agree, because we can't rely on that country anymore for supplies.
Exactly.
So we're all going to have to change very quickly.
Yeah, we have to. So I think this will start something else, and I think that mankind, I think the human being is in its core, it's progressive.
Yeah.
So there's always someone trying to find a solution.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we are all made. So,
I mean, we've certainly come up very quickly with things against the virus. So hopefully we can come up very quickly if we all put our heads together again to get through this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's certainly hope that way. So what's your plans for Neonpocalypse going forward?
I would love to play live, of course. It wasn't my intention from the start. I didn't really wanted to create another band because I'm so busy with Then Comes Silence.
Yeah.
But of course, after a while, I've started planning on trying to find a way of playing this live, because I don't want it to sound exactly the same. Because if I would have to have like 3 keyboard players, a lot of synthesizers on stage. Well, that's too much work for me. I would love to try something more kind of a punk version of Neonpocalypse live, maybe just with 3 musicians, including me.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I can.
I think that could sound really good.
Yeah, I hope so. A bit trashy. Yeah.
What do the old bandmates in Then Comes Silence think of Neonpocalypse?
I think they're. I think they think it's okay. It's fine. I've heard they mentioned that it sounds like me, because they know my songs, so they can hear it was made by me. Yeah. Mm.
But it is so different between the two bands. I mean, that is one of the great things about the two bands. They are very, very different bands, aren't they? Even though you're fronting them.
Yeah.
But they are very different, and that is such a nice, refreshing side project, side project's probably more than that to you now, but
yeah.
That is brilliant. I like that. So are you planning hopefully to tour at some point as well?
We'll see. I will probably next year, because this is going to be quite busy with Then Comes Silence, and I only have 4 songs by Neonpocalypse. To play live, you need at least 6 songs. And you stretch them a little bit, so you can play for at least 20 minutes or something, because less than 20 minutes it's not a concert.
No. Have you got more lined up though, do you think?
I have plenty of ideas.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be good. Look forward to that. I really do look forward to that. And obviously at some point an album. Yeah,
I would love to release an album, a proper album. Next time.
Yeah. Because it is really good music, and it would be a shame to stop at the 4 songs, because there's so much more to offer there. But I mean, it's really quite something, and your style of singing is really exceptional. It really is. I mean, it's up there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of singers out there that they all sound similar, but you've got this unique voice that really carries over in all your songs, whether that be Neonpocalypse or Then Comes Silence, and they just sound so good. They just sound so good.
Yeah, because I'm not used to sing to electronic music, so I just do it the way I usually do. I know a friend of mine. He told me that no, it's not gonna work because he heard the first demo, because your voice is too goth. It's not gonna work with electronics.
Really?
So, okay. Well, let's see what we can do. So.
Well, I think you've proved that wrong.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
You have, honestly. You've proved that wrong. I mean, it just sounds so good. When like I said, when I first heard Broken Circles, I was just taken aback, and I thought, I love this. It's absolutely brilliant. You know, the video is a kind of retro video. I mean, I know you don't like the word, but I mean, it is a retro kind of video. But the song is just so good, and then add your voice on top, and it is so good, and it does go well. It does go well. So, pretty sure you cracked that one. Anyway, Alex, it has been an absolute pleasure to talk to you. Well done on Neonpocalypse, because I think they're a fantastic creation of yours. They really are. And
my pleasure.
Would love to talk to you more some point.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Alex. It's been absolutely a pleasure to talk to you. So for now, take care and have a great day.
Yeah, take care.
Take care, Alex. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.